Welcome back, guys. And today we're going to be making some meatballs. Yes, I love meatballs. One of my favorite things to eat. They're bite-sized, especially if you make them the perfect size. They go right in your mouth. Delicious. Lots of bold flavors you can use, different combinations. Super healthy. The fat, the protein. It's the perfect meal. And it's simple. Really is. It's just a little time-consuming to roll them. But you get better as you go. After you make a couple hundred or 1,000 of them like me, you'll get really good. So we're going to take, I've got some lean ground beef. I prefer the medium, but we've got the lean. I've got this opened up. So we're going to get that into a bowl. Now, very important, get your rings off. Get your hands clean. Mine are already washed. Get your rings off. There's no point in having that in there. And get a bowl. Drop that beef right into a bowl, okay? Get that out of the way. Now, meatballs are pretty simple to make, but it really comes down to the spices that you add to them. So today we're going to be adding a few spices, but because of this ground beef, I've got about 2.5 pounds here. Might even be 3, I didn't check. The bowl's pretty heavy. We're going to be using 2 eggs. So again, if you're using about a pound of beef, for every pound of beef, you're going to use an egg, okay? The egg helps glue it together, very important, especially when making balls or hamburger patties. You're going to want something to kind of bind it all together. So we'll just get those cracked in there. Uh-oh, got a little shell in there. Let's get that out of there. Guess that just adds texture. There we go. Throw those in the garbage. Wash your hands. Now, if you've got kids around, it's a fun thing to do. Have them roll up the balls, make a snowball, make a meatball, anything you want to do. Just put them to work because it's tedious when you're going to make about 100 of these things. So first things first, we're going to add some salt and pepper. Okay. I'm hitting it with some Himalayan pink salt, but any salt will do. Get that in there. Somebody commented they've got a black salt, or sorry, it's a white salt that I should check out, like a black and white salt. So that would be pretty good. Or I think it was a white pepper, so I'm going to have to look into that, because that's pretty intriguing. I've never seen a white pepper before. So we got the salt and the pepper out of the way. Now, you don't have to do this. This does have 1 carbohydrate per 1 tablespoon, but we're only going to be using about 1 tablespoon in this dish. Okay, so it's adding a bit of carb, but if you can handle it, if you can tolerate it, go ahead and squirt it in. Sriracha, okay? Sriracha sauce. It's good, it's tasty, it adds a little bit of zip. We're going to be adding some onion powder, okay? Sprinkle that all in there. So about 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. We won't go overboard with it. So we've got curry powder here, disease, which inflammation helps against. It prevents cancer and depression. It helps fight depression. And I forgot to mention garlic powder. Garlic powder helps, again, with blood pressure, cholesterol. It fights off prevention and progression of cancer. It helps with your liver and your immune system. So garlic powder is really beneficial. So these spices that we're adding today, you don't have to do it. You could just throw some egg and some ground beef, some salt and pepper into a bowl and have your way with it. But I really like spices. As you guys can probably tell, I like nice, big, bold flavors. Very important. And they come with some health benefits as well. I'm noticing it, especially turmeric. It's incredible. I can't say enough good things about it. Turmeric and cumin, they are marvelous to work with. So we've got our ground beef into the bowl. Okay, it's a pretty hefty bowl. We're going to be making a lot of meatballs today. So let's get that down. Now the fun part. We just got to work that stuff all together, okay? Now, if you're keto and you're not carnivore, you could add some oatmeal to this. I would probably put about a cup of oatmeal. You could do pork rinds, just anything to help load it up. The oatmeal will add some fiber. Carnivores don't really need that. But if you are keto friendly and you want some extra fiber, you could add some oats to it, some whole oats. Okay, they work really well. Or you could crunch up some pork rinds to help keep it moist. There's a lot of things you could do. I've heard of people putting crackers in. I've never had that, but you could do that. I prefer the oatmeal or the whole oats and the pork rinds. But because we're carnivore today and every day, meat's good, bread bad, we're going to be just doing some meat and some spices today. So we're going to mix that all together. Take your time with it. Get all that stuff mixed together. The smells are great. Really work that through. There we go. You can already feel it binding together. If you need another egg, depending how much beef you've got, you'll be able to tell. Go ahead and crack one in, but for the amount of beef I've got here, 2 is good. This is perfect right now. My goodness, that is going to be phenomenal to eat. Can't wait. So I'm going to wash my hands and roll some balls. Okay guys, we got our beef all mixed together. Oh boy, that smells good. Alright, so first of all, we're going to want to preheat the oven, 375. Let's get that on. There we go. My oven's going to be warming up while I'm going to be rolling these. Now, depending on the size, I like bite size, just so it's easy. I don't have to fiddle with it. Just grab it and pop it in my mouth. I mean, sometimes I won't even use a fork. I'll just take it primal ways and just throw it in. I wish I could juggle. So we're gonna roll the meatball, okay, just in your hands. I like bite size. Doesn't matter how big, how small. It's just gonna depend on the cooking time. Okay, so I like to make them all about the same size if you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. And if you've got little ones around the house, I'm sure they'll have fun doing this with you. Go. Space them out a little bit. You want about an inch in between if you can. I'm just going to roll a few for you guys to show you how I do it. This is the time-consuming process of this, but it's well worth it. I like to make a bunch all at once. That way I can just put them in the fridge, eat them throughout the week. They make great little snacks. You can take them for lunch. And I'm not going to lie, they probably taste better cold. After they've sat for a day or two, the spices and everything get really, really nice and absorbed. That's what I like about this diet. It's really easy to just refrigerate everything, and half of it, or if not almost all of it, tastes just as good the next day, if not better. Go eat some almost done. So guys, I'm going to continue rolling and I'll be back. We've got 2 pans here with some meatballs. 2 pans, yes. So got lots of meatballs out of that. What I did with the leftover meat, I just made some hamburger patties, threw those in the fridge. I'll cook those up tomorrow. Those will be good with an egg, or a couple eggs actually. And now my girlfriend, we've got the day off together. She's not carnivore, she's not keto, but whatever I can do to help her eat with me, we try and make it work out. So what I've done is I've grabbed a pot here. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear. I'll hold it under the other camera here. So we've got a liquid mixture. She's going to use that as a dipping sauce for her meatballs. So she threw in, well, we did this together. We did a little bit of honey. It's too hard, so I just kind of scooped it out with a knife. We've got about half a cup of beef broth. Again, good stuff to work with. A little bit of garlic, a little sprinkle of ginger. Okay. Always salt and pepper, no matter what. And last but not least, a couple teaspoons of soy sauce. Mix that all together, heat it up right before you're going to eat it. Pour it into a little bowl and dip your meatballs in it. It turns out really good. It's got that Asian taste, that Asian Eastern taste, really delicious. So I'm just going to set that aside so she can have a little dipping sauce with hers. She'll have a lettuce salad with it. But yeah, that's her thing, so that's good. We try to inspire with carnivore, but we're not going to pressure anyone to join in. Now, what we did also with these meatballs, I sprinkled a little bit more salt on them right before they're going in the oven. I like salt. I feel like I don't get enough. I try to keep up my electrolytes, but with this diet, you really got to hit it with salt, or you start to feel like crap. You start to feel sluggish. You get the flu-like symptoms. So salt's really important. So oven's heated up at 375. These meatballs are ready to go in. Now my oven's big enough I can cook 2 pans at a time. Depending on your oven, you might only be able to cook 1 pan, but that's okay. Take your time with it, no rush. Food is important and we just got to take our time with it. So this is going to cook at 375 for approximately 20 minutes. We're going to flip them after 10 minutes. Just rotate the balls over and cook another 10 minutes at the 375, and those are going to be good, and I'll show you the final product when we're done. Alright guys, so I pulled these out of the oven. They're almost done. They're halfway. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip them up and rotate them. And just keep flipping them. Get them flipped up. There we go, look at that. Now what you might have to do, depending on if you've used a medium or a lean ground beef, I've used a lean, but as you can see, there's quite a lot of fat coming out of these, but that's okay. You might have to drain your pan, but mine are good to go. See how much they've shrunk? Might even be able to squeeze them all into 1 pan here, which would actually be beneficial. So I'm going to try and do that. Looks like it's working. I think we're going to be able to do that. Look at that. They already smell delicious. But they're not quite done. The one thing about meatballs is they don't take long to cook. So once you get through the hard work of rolling, and there might even be easier methods to roll them. I just do it old school style. There we go. So I'm just going to get this pan right out of the way. Don't even need that anymore now that they've shrunk down. And these are going in back in the oven for another approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Prepped and ready to go. So again, this was just a little sauce I've come up with, some sriracha, some honey, some ginger, salt and pepper, garlic, and we've just Put that all into a pot, brought it to a boil, and it's ready to go. So I'm just going to pour that into a little container for her to dip her meatballs in with her little chopsticks. There we go. Get that out of the way. Smells pretty good. I smell the ginger, the soy sauce, so that'll be a nice little dip for her. Okay guys, the meatballs are ready. Look at those. Jeez, that is going to be something else. Can't wait. So we're going to plate these up. Throw them on a plate here. I'm a little piggy, so I'm going to grab a bunch right off the bat here. There we go. Look at that. A few more on mine. Look at that. Oh, they smell so good, guys. I think you're going to be really happy with these if you follow my recipe. And yeah, let me know in the comments section below if you've got your favorite meatballs that you would recommend. Maybe I can try and make them for us, and we can share. And yeah, hopefully this inspires you guys to come up with your own meatball recipe. Take care, guys, and have fun. Thanks for watching, guys. If you find my channel entertaining, educational, or just want to show me some love, hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget, meat good, bread bad. Take care.